Hey, real quick, y'all. I want to have a discussion, a talk, maybe, or just a rant about loyalty versus dependence. And it's one of those gray areas because they say from a distance you can't really tell the difference. It may look the same, someone always going back to a source or to an individual or to an organization. Um, for whatever they may want, need, desire, something like that. And but when you look closely and you examine them carefully, there's a huge difference between the two. When it comes to loyalty, those that's based on someone desiring to come back to you, somebody desiring to work. And I'm primarily talking in the business sense, as opposed to dependence is when it's like they have to because they can't operate without you. They've created some type of codependency or something like that. And I think about the old saying, the adage, "You give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day." That's dependence right there. Because that means he'll have to come back to you tomorrow in order to be able to eat. The story doesn't end there. That desire, that need for fish makes him dependent. And there are organizations out there who live that way. But then you look at the other part and say, but if you teach that man how to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. But that story doesn't stop there either. That man, as he goes to fish, he'll have a desire to expand his fishing. He'll have a desire to do more. And when he has that desire, he's going to go to the person, the place, the organization that taught him how to fish, that gave him that skill, that invested in him. He's going to want to return that investment. So when he wants to go buy a boat, or when he wants to, expand his fisher staff and he wants to know how to put that together, he won't go to a stranger. He'll go to someone he's loyal to, who's been loyal to them. You see, because that dependence, it relies on a neediness, a insecurity, a fear, even where people are dependent upon you. But the problem with that is, in many cases, as the person who is dependent, as they grow, as they move forward, as they get more of a desire to do more, they look back at the person who only gave them fish consistently, and they'll begin to resent them. They won't go back. They were like, it felt like they kept them under their thumb all of that time, as opposed to when they look back at the person who gave them, who taught them the skill of of fishing, that they're grateful. They were like, yeah, that person invested, not just created, an entitlement within me. They gave me something that I can, grow with, or and even sometimes when people are quote unquote teaching them how to fish, they still do it in a way where you have to be dependent on. They only show them a little bit, or they show them this just enough to, make them think that they're learning more, but they still got that. Well, you can't go too far. Don't go too far out into the deep. You don't want to catch the big fish. Just stick here with these guppies, but they're still going to eat for a day. But I would encourage everybody, especially when you're getting into business, look to create loyalty as opposed to dependence. People they'll be happy for you. They'll be the ones who defend you in the marketplace. They'll be the ones who, recommend their friends, their family, their loved ones to you. They become your street team. They will wear your buttons. They will throw on your logo. They will share your stuff, like, subscribe, all of that, no matter what. Create that loyalty, that loyal base. I think of some of these sports teams who haven't won in a very, very, very long time, but their fan base is loyal. They still wear the logo. They still cheer them on. Be like that. They defend them. I've never seen anybody defend more than a loyal sports fan. I'm not going to get to calling out teams and all that type of stuff. Y'all can talk about that in the comments. I know you will. But what are your thoughts on loyalty versus dependence? What have you seen? What have you learned? How do you operate your business? Do you look for, loyal customers? Are you creating dependent customers who feel like they have to come to you, that they're entitled to what you're giving them? I've worked with both type of companies. I've seen it happen in organizations, across the globe. Just a real quick story. Um, I was in Chicago some years ago, probably about 2003, 2002, and met a pretty renowned politician, and he, told a story from the stage about how he and his organization had helped this group of people in another country to, you know, get some things in place to help them. And afterwards, I simply asked him. I said, so after this, how did you all teach them this, that, and the other, so they wouldn't be in that position again? And his response was, well, we didn't do that. They just know that at any time they can call us. And that's a position that, nobody should have to be in, where, the only way for you to be able to be rescued, the only way for you to be able to have what you want, what you need, is through someone else. That's not what we want. That's not how people should live. So I encourage all of us, whether you be a customer, whether you be a business owner, entrepreneur, client, whatever, look for those areas where there has been dependence as opposed to loyalty, and make some adjustments. If you've made your customer base dependent upon you as opposed to loyal to you, see what you can do to it to better that relationship. If you are a client or customer and you seem like you've become dependent on someone as opposed to loyal to them, then make some adjustments there. Demand more. Unless you just want to be dependent. That's, everybody has that choice. I'm a person who likes free will. So, but just know that with that dependence comes the possibility that what you're dependent on runs out, and if you don't know how to fish, then what you gonna do?